For 3 Premier League games in a row, Arsenal have failed to get back to winning ways ever since they played against Bournemouth and William Saliba was sent off. Now, they've gone ahead to obviously find themselves in a position of really losing to Newcastle. And in their last game they played last weekend against Liverpool, it was 2-2, and they led twice and Liverpool pulled back twice. That means something is not okay at the club of Arsenal. And are we hitting back to the Black November? Remember, in the season of 2022-2023, 2023-2024, Black November was not a concern for the club of Arsenal, but it looks like it's back to the Black November days for the club of Arsenal. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. And this is where I will really bring you a latest news and information as far as your football results are really concerned in here onto this beautiful channel of Rokani Media Football. So it looks like it's not going to be an easy day for all the teams playing this weekend, and Arsenal have found themselves in a position of really losing out a big game of football when they are really playing against Newcastle. And remember, even last time they played here, they went ahead to lose. Though last time they went ahead to lose controversially. And remember, we are powered by Mono Gadgets dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops. And if at all you want a brand new phone or a brand new laptop, call them on +256 70 99 88 665. All else, if you need a used phone and a used laptop, call them on +256 70 99 88 665, and you'll thank me later. Right? That is Mono Gadgets for you, and that's what they obviously bring for you onto this beautiful channel of ours, known as the Rokani Media Football. So that is Mono Gadgets for you. You can as well go on TikTok and follow them up. TikTok, or search for Mono Gadgets, and the rest will be history. Now, let's get into the game. Now, for me, I had no problem with the squad that Arteta brought in, and I think he really made a very good change because 7 of the players that started against Preston never started, started, and that means these players had gone ahead to rest for some time. David Raya, Gabriel Magalhaes, Partey, Declan Rice, Saka, Kai Havertz, Trossard. Those are the 7 players that he really sidelined. Others came off the bench and took part into that game, and others never really took part into that game. So the manager welcomed back Saliba, and I thought Arsenal had a very good squad. And I've gone ahead and told people that I'm not going to come out and obviously tell you that Arsenal went ahead to obviously make a very bad window transfer. That's not the case. That's not the case. I think the problem is with the manager. His tactics, for me, looked shite into that game. They totally looked shite. Because if you know to eat that, Newcastle is parking the bus and is hitting you in the break, then why do you take all those minutes to obviously make substitutions? Because when you go to the live score here, I want to read to you how he went ahead to obviously make his substitutions. You get? And you'll obviously see what I'm talking about, because I think he needed a response even before the second half went ahead to start. When you look at the substitutes, he made the first substitution in the 61st minute. He took off Mikel Merino and brought in Zinchenko. You get? He also took off Martinelli and brought on Ethan Nwaneri. Then in the 71st minute, he took off Leandro Trossard and brought on Gabriel Jesus. Took off Julian Timber because he had a yellow card and brought on Benjamin White. Took off Thomas Partey and brought on Jorginho. Now, my problem with him is when you bring on all these players, how does the shape of your team look? Because if you're having Zinchenko, you are having Ethan Nwaneri, Jesus, Jorginho, and you are having Kai Havertz on the pitch, Saka on the pitch, how do they behave when they're really having the ball? The shape of the team. Because I don't think that in a game like this, I take off a player called Leandro Trossard. Why? Newcastle had gone ahead to obviously play a low block. You get? And when a team is playing a low block, All you need are players that can come up and obviously open up that defense. You get? And there is no way you take off Leandro Trossard. Getting on Ethan Nwaneri was a very big move, but which role did you offer him to play? You get? And Jorginho was really a very good move. But how did you really plan them? You get? I think it was about the manager. It was all about the manager. And I was listening live and told people that my problem with Arteta is that he rarely shows me that he has tactics to change a game. That is it. Most of the games that Arsenal have gonna hit to win, they are like written all over the wall from the start of the game that they're really gonna go ahead and obviously win those games of football. You understand? But games where Arteta requires to obviously respond, he doesn't really, it's not always easy for him. In games where they are responding to him, or when they are reactionary to him, it's okay. In games where teams like Newcastle can come up and obviously take a lead in the 12th minute, and Arsenal had 78 minutes to play and they couldn't obviously score a goal, the stats have been very shaming. You obviously have to look through this and ask yourself, what exactly is happening? You get? You need to worry a little bit, You have to worry a little bit about the manager. You understand? Because I think that if he really did this very well, he would have found himself really doing the needful. For me, I don't take off Julian Timber. Why? Timber is one of the best ball players into that game. And all you needed was a player to obviously go forward, to play that entire line. All else, he would have gone here to play Timber as a left back and then bring on Benjamin White. But I don't think that Benjamin White was really ready for a kind of game of this intensity. So I think in everything that he did, the problem was the substitutions. For me, if I was Mikel Arteta today, I would have gone here to get on Jesus and Kai Havertz. Let Kai Havertz be the lead man and Jesus play behind him. You get? Such that you open up the game. You all know to it that Saka operates well when he's really having space. Then at least have a game plan that will obviously see you play on the left, and make them forget about Saka and then switch that ball into that space to obviously create him moments because they had lots of overloads. That's why they had Joe Wellington onto that side. If at all you watched my match day live, I told you about that they had Joe Wellington, and is it Hal onto that side to obviously block Bukayo Saka. And you saw to it that there was no activity onto that left side. Activity was onto the right side. That's even where the goal came in through. A cross put in through well by Livramento, and it was really well headed, by Ishak into the back of the net in the 12th minute. So those are things that Mikel Arteta really failed to read because they had a plan for Bukayo Saka. Now, how do you obviously dissolve their plan? I've always been one of the critics of why they don't allow Saka to invert in the midfield. You get? Saka is a touchline player. You get? He is a wide player and he plays so much onto the line. And the same applies to Martinelli. You get? That's why you believe that at a certain point X, they would have gone to bring in another player who is really very, very, very okay with switching and really inverting into the midfield. So I think Arsenal lost this game of football because of the manager. That is it. Not because of the players. Not because of the players. And the other worrying bit is 3 games, Arsenal has 1 point. Ever since we returned from the international break, Arsenal hasn't gone ahead obviously win a game. They first played Bournemouth, a game that everyone thought they would win. Unfortunately, they got a red card. And when they got a red card, they lost by 2-0. Liverpool, it was a 2-2 draw. Today, they've lost to Newcastle by 1-0. And you remember my prediction. I called for a 3-2 win for the club of Arsenal because I knew how tight this game is going to be. You get? Because for Newcastle, when they say they're going to sit back, they'll sit back. When they say they're going to attack you, they can attack you at all fronts. That is Newcastle for you. So, it's really one of those moments that you look at and obviously ask, what is really happening? Really? You get? you ask yourself what is really happening indeed for this side. So that is the side of Newcastle beating the club of Arsenal, but you have to give credit to Alexandra Isak. One chance, one goal. You get? And you see how reactionary they were, as Arsenal was trying to prepare itself in the back line. The cross was imminent. The moment they passed the ball to Livramento went ahead, obviously put in that cross immediately. And guess what happened? It was a header. And the defense was really trying to organize itself. And it was Gabriel Magalhaes who was in front of Ishak. And he couldn't obviously stop that well-measured cross or calculated inviting cross into the 6 box area of Arsenal by Livramento. So, now, the reaction of Arsenal is really very alarming, because in games like this, you have to be reactionary, because you know to it that you've gone in this game of football when you are 5 points down Man City, all of Man City, and 3 points, is it 4, and 4 points off Liverpool. So, if that's the case, you shouldn't allow them to obviously go 8 ahead of you and 4 ahead of you. You understand? So, I think the reaction was really bad, and I've gone into people saying it's all about when Odegaard was up there. Odegaard, Arsenal continue to win. Saliba is back. Arsenal has failed to win. You get? So, I don't want anyone to come up and obviously paint it with those players. No. Arsenal has a very beautiful squad that can come up and obviously win a game of football. You get? And you ask yourself at a certain point X that if you're having a player like Sterling on the bench, these are kind of games that you really tell him, please wake up and go. Wake up, go and play. You get? He was on the bench. He was one of the unused substitutes, because in this game, you need players who could obviously risk it all. You get? You need players that could risk it all. And it's all about the manager, I can tell you. I think he got it wrong from the first place. He got it really, really wrong. And the set pieces were not all that okay. So, looks like it was not a day for Arsenal for them to win. And one can call it a bad day in office. So, let's obviously get into the game stats and see how alarming they were. Newcastle 9 shots, Arsenal had 10. Newcastle had 4 shots on target, Arsenal had only 1 shot on target. Very, very shocking. For a club like Arsenal, how can you only have 1 shot on target? Indeed, guys, this is a huge question to ask ourselves. Then 36% ball possession by Newcastle, 64% ball possession by Arsenal. It's what I told you, that they have surrendered possession. After surrendering possession, obviously, they went ahead to get a goal and they defended. And they've gone ahead to be doing this on several occasions in all games they've gone ahead to play. 69% passing accuracy by Arsenal, 86% passing accuracy by Arsenal. Newcastle had 69%, Arsenal had 86. 287 passes completed by Newcastle, 498 passes completed by Arsenal. 16 fouls by Newcastle, 18 fouls by Arsenal. 4 yellow cards to each side, 0 red cards to both sides. Offsides 0-0, 4 corners 4 corners for Newcastle, and 6 corners for Arsenal. That's how it really looks like. And looks like Arsenal is a little bit lucky, because the teams they are competing with on the table are really, really drawing. You get? Sorry, are really losing. Like for now, when you look at the games of Man City, Bournemouth is leading Man City by 1-0. Liverpool is leading. Liverpool is losing 1-0. Brighton is also leading. Nottingham is 4th for now. Arsenal is 5th. And if Chelsea win tomorrow, or even get a draw against Manchester United, and Aston Villa also really find themselves drawing or winning, Arsenal is going to go 7th. You get? So that's how bad it's looking for the club of Arsenal. It's not good on their side, but they have obviously brought to it that Liverpool and Man City really lose. That is it. If they draw or lose, then the gap will not be huge. But if Liverpool wins, the gap goes to 7. If Man City wins, the gap goes to 8. I'm going to see people say it's if it goes to 8 points, Arsenal is out of the trophy. And I'm like, you people, for how long have you been watching the Premier League? You know, it's just 10 games. It's just 10 games in, right? It's just 10 games in. So if there are 10 games in, a lot can happen and a lot can change. You get? So this Man City side hasn't played Liverpool. They haven't played Tottenham Hotspur. And you know what happened to them when they played Spurs in the FL Cup? They haven't played Manchester United. They haven't played Aston Villa. So they have all those 4 fixtures to go. And I think the same applies to Liverpool. Liverpool hasn't played Man City. They haven't played Spurs. They haven't played, I think, Aston Villa. You get? So there are like 3-4 teams that haven't gone ahead to play. And Arsenal has been playing these teams. And it's sad they're losing to Newcastle and they lost to Bournemouth. You understand? So guys, I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below about Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. That's the match reaction that I've gone ahead to obviously come up on this channel. And I now call upon for your reactions as you people want them to be. Bye-bye for now. See you later. But it's not a good day for the club of Arsenal and its fans. And let's wait to see tomorrow how United performs against Chelsea. And after this game of football, they are playing Inter Milan on Wednesday. And they'll be playing Chelsea on the weekend of next week. Ciao, ciao.